Today's topic is for every leader in the workplace who wants to grow personally and professionally. We're going to talk about winning the internal battle as a leader. These insights are drawn from the great book, Extreme Ownership: How U.S. Navy SEALs Lead and Win. I'll put a link to this below. These first four principles for winning in business and life have nothing to do with luck or environment. It's all about who you are on the inside. We're going to talk about taking ownership as a leader. We're going to talk about accountability, about buy-in, and about humility. Now, even as we're going through these, rank yourself or invite other members of your team to rank you. How are you doing when it comes to winning the internal battle as a leader? Let's start with ownership. All responsibility for every failure rests with the leader. So that means we need to avoid the urge to point fingers, to blame others when things are going wrong. You know, as a leader, it's easy to take credit when things are going great. But in the midst of crisis, it's easy to start looking for people to point your finger at. Great leaders take ownership, especially in the midst of failure. Here's the second thing: accountability. There are only two types of leaders, the authors talk about this: effective and ineffective. And so that means everyone must be accountable for how the team is performing, starting with you. It's easy to hold other people accountable for their mistakes or for their lack of performance. But what about holding yourself accountable? Do you do that? Ask yourself if your team is effective when it comes to your mission, your vision. And if the answer is no, we're lacking a little bit in certain areas, look in the mirror. Hold yourself accountable first. Third thing, buy-in. The leader has to be a true believer in the mission and the vision. And that means that you'll have to practice what you preach, especially in times of crisis. If at the end of the day, you really don't buy into what you're doing and what you're trying to accomplish together as a team, well, people are going to pick up on that. But if you're leading the charge from out front, if you're willing to sacrifice in the midst of crisis for the sake of the mission, then you'll inspire many of your other team members to do the same thing. All right, here's the fourth one, and we just call it humility. Ego clouds and disrupts everything. You don't have to think too long about that one to believe that it's true. And so the point is to never put your own needs, your own wants above what's best for the team. Take a look inside and ask yourself, why do I do what I do? What is my truest motivation? Is this for me, or is this for the sake of the mission, for the sake of the team? So those are the four areas where you need to learn to win the battle inside as a leader. Once you get this straight, you can move on to the next part of taking extreme ownership as a leader and how it affects your team. But start by looking in the mirror.